Hey everyone, welcome to Hot Topics Live. This is the show where we go deep into the business of running your home-based bakery. And today on Hot Topics Live, we're going to be talking all about how to discover your niche in 30 minutes or less. So if that sounds like something you've been struggling with or you're curious about, then I want to encourage you to stick around for all of today's training, because by the end of this segment, you're going to be really clear on what you need to do to clarify your message, narrow down your offerings, and zero in on that service that you provide to people. Now, this is some really deep work. It's actually a bigger topic than the 30 minutes allows, but I think we're going to get some great results here today. But if you happen to miss a recent training that I did last Sunday, it was called Make Bank with Your Baking. Huge webinar, amazing turnout. So many of you guys came out and participated in that training or caught the replay. This is actually a snippet from it. So you get to benefit even if you didn't show up to that. Just by being here in the Home Bakery Business Tips Facebook group, you are going to get a very informative 30-minute lesson on how to get the results that we worked on in that workshop. It's that important. So before we jump into today's topic, I want to just take a second and welcome some of our viewers. So if you're a brand new member to Home Bakery Business Tips Facebook group, welcome to Hot Topics Live. This happens every Monday inside the Facebook group. I go live on a topic that matters, that's important, that's going to help you grow your baking business, and it's free. Just for being in this group, you can check out that training either live, like right now, or if you're watching it on replay, then you still get to benefit from that powerful training, free training right here inside the group. So if you happen to join live, then you can do things like comment. This Facebook user says, "You are cool." Thank you so much. I think so too. No, I'm kidding. But if you want to opt in and show your name, you're more than welcome to. There's a little snippet up at the top of this live. All you have to do is go into StreamYard and approve your Facebook profile name to be shown on the screen. Doesn't matter to me if you do or don't. I still love seeing your comments over in the chat, but it does allow me to know who you are if that's something that you'd like to, participate in. That's one of the fun things about showing up for the live. So I want to welcome everyone who's new to the group. This is, I think, one of my favorite parts of being here in the group. Of course, there's all this community support and the other little tidbits that we share throughout the week, but the week structures around the content of this training. So this is a great way to kick off your week. And then I want to welcome everyone who's watching live over on YouTube. Our YouTube following is growing, so shout out to everyone on YouTube. And if you look at the description of this video in YouTube, you'll see the link to join this group. So if you're getting value out of watching these videos and you'd like to take it another step, you can come over on into the group, and then you can actually comment on the videos and benefit from everything else we do throughout the course of the week. And then the third group of people I want to welcome to today's Hot Topics Live is everyone who is a regular follower of these weekly trainings, because you guys know that this is such an amazing free resource, and it's helping you to build that profitable home-based bakery business. And if you've been around here for even just a little while, then you know I am passionate about helping you create a profitable home baking business. And the content that I share is based around what you need to do to generate a profit. Pay yourself each month. That's the key here. So it works perfectly with today's topic, because finding your niche is going to be one of the most foundational things you can do to get success as a home-based bakery. Finding your niche is going to help you to stand out from everyone else in what sometimes feels like a crowded home bakery scene right now, getting really clear on who you serve and not getting that say yes to everyone mentality, but really zeroing in on a very specific niche will help you to get results even faster. So stick around because I'm going to share 3 tips to help you do that. So shout out to everyone in the chat. I see your comments. Welcome. I'm glad you're joining. It's nice to be live. I have to say the last 3 hot topics were interviews with some members from my Bake Better Academy, and even a fun snippet of a content review for a member here in this free group. And I haven't been live in a while, so it's nice to be back live again. And also you might notice it looks a little bit different behind me. I'm in a completely brand new office space, and it's still, the lighting is still coming in, and my backdrop I have some really fun plans for it. But yeah, I'm in an entirely new office space, so lots of fun changes going on around here. All right, so let's talk about getting clear on your niche. What I mean by niche is the exact market that you serve. So if you haven't gotten familiar with that term niche, it basically describes who you and your product are best for. And we're going to kind of go through several steps for you to get more clear on that. And if you don't have clarity by the end of this, then you're going to have a to-do list on what you need to do to get clear. So the idea of having a niche allows you to speak directly to the customer that you want. So if you just even try to imagine how vast the internet is, or let's even narrow that down, how vast Facebook is, and you are trying to sell your products on Facebook, and you're just trying to yell out to everyone on Facebook, I have cookies for sale. It's really hard to be heard if you're trying to talk to everyone. But when you can narrow down your message and say exactly who you serve and what you sell, then your voice actually gets louder. You're speaking to less people, but they can hear you better. And so that is my favorite reason why getting clear on your niche matters so much, because you're going to be speaking softer, but to more people. So what's the first step? How do you get that clarity? Well, one of the problems that I hear home-based bakers talking about inside our Facebook group, and they DM me, and even inside my coaching program, is how do I know what to offer? I'm really good at bread and cakes and cookies and cinnamon rolls, and people like everything that I bake. That's me. If that sounds like you, that is actually me too. So that I used to think was my point of distinction, was that I was really pretty good at everything. And I don't mean that in a bragging way. I just mean that I have been baking since I was, it's the first job I ever had. It's the only thing I've ever done. And so I felt like I mastered a lot of different stuff. So for me, my niche was everything. And it wasn't until I got really clear on a very specific niche and I pushed some of those things that I enjoyed baking to the side to focus on one thing, that is when I started to see a new level of success. So for me, it was cupcakes. For you, it can be whatever it is that you have decided is going to be your thing. And it doesn't mean that you can't make other things too, but your branding, your messaging, and how you describe your business is going to revolve around your niche. So the first questions I want you to ask yourself are, what are you interested and passionate about baking? So make a list, like a literal brain dump of everything that you love to bake. You like it, you're interested in it, write it down. We're going to go for like 15 things on your list. What are you already being paid to bake? People are already ordering it from you. Put that on the list too. And then what feels easy and comfortable in the kitchen? So yes, I can make wedding cakes. Yes, I can make sourdough bread. But I really love drop cookies. the sourdough bread, it's challenging. I always feel a little bit stressed just until I cut into it and see how it actually turned out. So I don't think I'm going to put sourdough on that list because it doesn't feel easy and comfortable. So this is how you're going to go through your ideas and brain dump them onto a sheet of paper and come up with 10 to 15 items that you offer that meet that criteria. It's interesting, you're passionate about it, you're already being paid to bake it, and rather it feels easy and comfortable. So what I want you to do is to kind of narrow that down by continuing on in through the next exercises. So we're trying to focus on less. That's the key here, little bit less. Can you make it work doing a lot of stuff? Yes, but it is harder. So if you're saying, I absolutely want to sell 17 different things on my menu, I'm not going to tell you no. I'm just going to tell you it's harder that way. So follow through as we go through this exercise, and let's see if you can benefit from narrowing down your menu a little bit. So the next step in nailing your niche is to identify your customer. And this is where you're really going to think about who orders from you. So when I started my cupcake business, I narrowed down my niche. I got rid of the sourdough. I got rid of drop cookies. I got rid of a lot of different things, and I really focused on going deeper, not wider. So I was able to wrap in a lot of creativity and a lot of my fun ideas into the flavors of cupcakes. But now I want you to think about who you serve as your customer. So who's ordered from you in the past? Try to describe them. They're moms, they're business people, they're people planning parties. Like, just try to describe that person the best you can. And not why, but who needs your product. So who is buying it, and who needs it, and then who your dream customer would be. So as my cupcake example from my niche, I noticed early on that the people that were ordering from me were the moms of the other players on my daughter's soccer team. They were looking for somebody who could make cupcakes match the theme of their party. And I was so eager to build my business that I didn't really have my niche defined that clearly. So I said, yeah, I can customize these cupcakes. And that really became my thing, with these cupcakes that can be matched to an event. I also noticed that people that ordered from me were people that were office managers and planned meetings for gatherings and workplaces. So you can have more than one type of customer. So I had moms who wanted cupcakes for birthday parties. And then I also had office managers, decision makers, people that could buy for the groups in the workplace setting. And then it would be the next question was, who would your dream customer be? And I really wanted to get into the wedding industry. So my dream customer would have been a bride who felt like a cupcake wedding was exactly what she wanted to plan. So that's who I was reaching for, was a bride. So then I got really clear on who I wanted to serve. People who were planning parties that needed custom cupcakes, people that had some buying power and some decision making for the kind of treats that got brought into offices, and brides. So that's very clear on who my niche served. So can you do that with who you are already selling to? Think about who is ordering it. Maybe we're not going to go into what problem you solve for them just yet, but who is doing the buying? So think about those and come up with as many different types of people that you can for the products that you're already selling. And this works too if you're not selling yet. You can do this as you're planning your business, because I didn't have any brides ordering from me yet, but I knew I wanted them. So that would be sort of your dream, would be to have these brides, but you can plan that without actually having them. All right, now next we're going to take a look at what is the problem that Sorry, I said it's a new office. We've got technical problems still. My lighting just almost fell on my head. So now we're going to look at the problems that you solve for your customers. So this is where you really start to define your niche. And the problems that you solve for your customers are going to be, what is the occasion that people are buying your baked goods for? Why do people order from you? And what need do you serve for them? So think about that customer that you just defined and then get more clear on it. So for the moms on those soccer teams, they were ordering the cupcakes because they needed customizing. They needed cupcakes that could match their, their child's birthday party theme. Whatever those themes were, I was able to do some customizing on their cupcakes and make it all match. So that was one of the needs I was solving for them, customizing. Why did the people in the offices order from me? Well, I told you I went deeper on my niche as opposed to wider. So with just the menu of cupcakes, I had 14 different flavors available every day. So for the people in my office, in the offices, they liked that they could get this box of treats with all kinds of different flavors so that at the meeting they were bringing them to, everybody always found something they could like. So that flavor variety became a key component in who I serve with my niche. It was definitely the flavor obsessed consumer. These are not the pretty all vanilla cupcakes. I mean, yes, they were pretty, but it was absolutely flavor first. And you could tell that by the names on the menu. So I knew that the problem I was solving was that people wanted this variety so that a lot of people could be happy with one variety box. And then for my brides, the ones that I was going for, I hadn't gotten any yet, but the ones that I really wanted to get as my customer, their problem that I solved was that they didn't want to have to deal with the cutting of a traditional wedding cake at their reception. So the cupcakes provided this amazing flavor that they already knew before they planned their wedding. They might have already been a customer, and then they're planning a wedding, and they wanted that same level of flavor and the convenience of serving it in a self-serve style, or all of the benefits that come along with a cupcake wedding. So that's how clear I think you need to get with the products that you make and sell. Now you can begin to look at the list of the brainstorming that you did with outlining your offering, and then the customer that you serve and the problem that you solve. And this is going to begin to help you identify your niche. And to help you, you can ask yourself, or sort of this question where you fill in the blanks. I sell blank to blank who need blank. So I could say I sell cupcakes to moms to moms who need to plan a custom party. I sell variety boxes to office events who need flavors that everyone will love. So as you're starting to get really clear, you're putting together these little sentences about what you do. And then you can begin to make it sound polished with words that sound like your brand and things that you really want people to know about you in a little bit more of a fancy way. So this is going to bring you closer to your dream customer. Now, by doing this, you are actually speaking directly to them. Because if I'm a mom and I'm planning a birthday party and I see a Facebook post for a baker in my area who says, I sell cupcakes made to match your party theme, I know that that's the solution to my problem. This lady who just posted, this woman or man who just posted this advertisement for what they do has already identified exactly why I want to order from them. So you're literally shifting your perspective from thinking about you and your baking to thinking about your customer and why they should order from you. And then when you start to post on Facebook, talk about your business, either in person or on social media, you are telling your future customer how you're going to solve their problem for them. And that makes it a no-brainer decision for them to say, yeah, what's my next step? How can I get your product? Now, I want to take a couple of minutes and jump over into the comments section because that's the best part about being live. So this Facebook user says, is the cupcake in a variety of flavors or is the frosting both? So for my business, I did both. My cupcakes had different flavors and then the frosting had different flavors. And I was able to create this very dynamic menu of flavors because there's 3 ways that you can create different flavors in cupcakes. And as I'm saying that, I'm like, this sounds familiar. I think I've done a live on this. And I absolutely have. So if you're in the Facebook group, you can go up to the guides section and I have a live, I'll drop it in the comments after this recording is done, but it's literally like all about cupcakes where I answered a ton of questions about how you can create a business just selling cupcakes. One way is flavoring the cake by mixing things into the batter. One way is flavoring the frosting by mixing things into the frosting. And then you've got the fillings and the toppings. So lots of ways that you can create flavor variety in the cupcake. And, bringing it back to our niche, one of the things that I identified early on was that flavor variety was as important to people as customizing the look of it. So in some flavors that can be challenging, like some flavors you can change the color of the frosting and some you just can't. I mean, an Oreo cookies and cream frosting does not exactly look good when it's pink because it's got, crushed Oreos and vanilla buttercream, and that's the way it should look. So we literally had a list of what you can customize and what you can't. But going deep into your niche instead of going, yes, and I can do this, and then I can do this, and saying yes to everything that people offers spreads you so thin that it becomes hard to give a really clear message of what you sell. Now, over in the Facebook group this morning, I asked you, do you have a specialized segment of the market? And I really got some interesting answers. So some of you are really clear on what you're selling and what your niche is. So Mandy says adult upscale special occasion cakes and everyday Southern cakes and brownies. And so there's some clarity there. Moni says, still trying to figure that out. That's all right. That's what we're here for today, is to sort of figure it out. So if you're still trying to figure it out, start with that brain dump of everything that you bake and then get clear on who your ideal customer would be. Even if you're not doing a lot of selling yet, you can think about what you envision your business looking like. And so somebody says, I do too many different things, which is why I think cookie boxes. And then just to kind of piggyback off that, Trisha said, so what do I call my niche if I do cakes, cupcakes, and cookies, such as dessert tables as well as individual items? So if that sounds like you, where you have several things and you haven't quite gotten the clarity, then I want you to think about the problem that you're solving. So Trisha, as I'm reading yours, you said such as dessert tables as well as individual items. I would zero in on that and say, why are people ordering the dessert tables? Are these parties, celebrations, and weddings? Because if so, that could be your niche. And variety is a niche. So like I had that flavor variety, yours could be this dessert buffet variety. So for your celebrations. So getting really clear on why your customers in the past have ordered from you and what the events were and things like that. Okay, let's jump over to the comments now and see what you guys are saying. So could my niche be, I sell a variety of fresh baked desserts to those that choose to customize their baked goods. I think that you can go even more clear on that because everybody wants fresh baked desserts, right? I mean, that's what we're all trying to do. So I don't feel like that catches people's attention enough. And those that choose to customize their baked goods, yes. So customizable and then get more clear. Customizable for what event? So is it customizable in the way that it looks like a decorated cake, or is it customizable by the ingredients so that it meets your ingredient standards? I'm not clear on that. And I wouldn't know if that means like I can bake without soy or I can bake without eggs. Or does it mean I can make it match your party invitation? So get more clear there. I hope that helps. And I don't know your name because it just says Facebook user, but I'm sure I know you. So good. Thank you for the question. Okay, so then Nikki says, over back in the Facebook group, Nikki says, small batch dessert squares made with organic and locally sourced ingredients wherever possible, containing no artificial flavors, colors, sweeteners, or preservatives. So you have a lot of clarity there on what you offer, and pretty much zeroing in on the problem that you solve. And I think it just can use a little polishing to sound like a beautiful description for your business. So to me, the locally sourced is really important to people. There is a type of person who really is interested in buying locally sourced or supporting a local business. So I would almost say that describes the person that you're selling, someone who is supporting local, and that the ingredient choice is as natural as possible, no artificial flavors, colors, sweeteners, or preservatives. So you're making small batch natural desserts for people who care about supporting local. And then you can just make that a little bit more polished by adding some fun words that are a little bit more unique. Okay, so that was from our Facebook group. Now let's jump over into the comment section. And you said, yes, I think a lot of us make a variety. The problem is just cutting back to that one true item. I totally agree. A lot of people offer the variety. And I think it's important to think about not what you have to lose by not offering that. Maybe the sale, like say, brownies are on your menu, but it's not your core very best thing. If you took brownies off your menu, you would feel like, well, I might lose that customer. But if you made that focus more on what do you gain by getting more clarity, then you gain a message that speaks loud and clear to somebody who is looking for exactly what you do. Small batch desserts, all natural, small batch, made for people who care about supporting local. That speaks more clearly than, yes, I do brownies. Does that make sense? All right, very good. So there's a few examples. I'd love to go through your comments in the Facebook group even more and help you fine tune your brand. But just begin the process of really dialing in on your niche by talking about the problem that you solve for your customer. And the problem doesn't necessarily mean I need a brownie, that's my problem. The problem might be, I want a brownie, but I want to do it in a way that aligns with my preference for local or my desire for high quality ingredients. So really get clear on exactly who your best customer is so that you can put only your best items on your menu, and your messaging will improve to the point where you're speaking loud and clear to the problem that you solve. All right, awesome questions today. Let me jump in one more because I see Kamite. I think I'm going to learn your name tonight, I hope, because you're in my coaching Bake Better Academy, and we're going to have our first meet and greet. So I hope to see you there. And I need to learn how to pronounce your name. But your question is, what if I do customized cakes and pastry for any occasion? I would lean on the customized part. So any occasion you can get some clarity on, and customized. Those are your two key points there. Any occasion is honestly, those are celebrations when people need cakes, right? So birthdays, weddings, baby showers, parties, those are really celebrations. And customizing means you can do it exactly your way. So I'd really lean on those two factors to create something that says, speaks directly to your customers. Yes. Comitra. Commit. Okay, without the E. Commit. Yes. Awesome. Sort of like with a French twist. Commit. Awesome. Okay. If I ever say your names wrong, you guys, I apologize, but I do appreciate being corrected because I just don't like to get people's names wrong. All right, so listen, so fun coming back live. I have missed you guys. I've missed being live and chatting with you in the comment section. Remember that if you're watching on YouTube, that you can jump over into the group and be a part of the conversation and even ask your questions in the comments. And don't forget that these Hot Topics Live happen every Monday, 2 p.m. Central Time, right here inside the Facebook group or streaming on YouTube. It's been a pleasure chatting with you guys today, and I hope that you got some value out of this training. If you did, if you had an aha moment, then let me know in the comments. I love to share those over on my Instagram stories to help other bakers find our group. So if you had like a moment where you just said, yes, this was valuable training, let me know down in the comment section. It really helps other bakers find us. And that's the name of the game, is, growing our group so that we can help more people here as we learn how to create a profitable home-based bakery. Thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you next week, same time, same place. Bye, everyone.